So there's a shampoo called Pert. There's a Pert shampoo, right? And this, I call this the shampoo formula because it's Pert, right? Pert, P, this is multiplication, times E. Hey, that E is the E we were just talking about. And then raised to the R times T. And then A over here. Let me explain what all these letters are. First of all, let's talk about what P is. P is what's technically called the principal, but to make it easier, this is your starting amount. Starting amount of money. All right, your starting amount of money, principal. So if you get that new shiny credit card and you go make a charge on it, right? That charge you make, that would be your principal. That would be the starting amount, okay? Yeah, let's just keep going. All right, so that's that. Okay, E is just the number, 2.718. So that's never going to change in the formula. That's just the constant. R is what we call the interest rate. And it must be a decimal. For example, 25% interest rate would convert over to 0.25. We take the decimal and we move it 2 places to the left. If it was 7%, it would be what as a decimal? 0.07. If it was 2.3%, it would be 0.023, right? So you're always just taking the decimal, moving it 2 places to the left. In the formula, you must be using the decimal, not the percent. You can't plug 25 into that, you have to plug 0.25 into that. Okay? And then T is time, and it's usually measured in years. So if you were going to leave money, if you were going to put money into the bank and leave it there for 3 years, see how much it grows, then T would be 3. If you want to leave it there for 6 months, then T would be 1/2. So it's always measured in years. And then the last part of the formula is the A. And the A is the amount that you would have. Amount at the end of T, right? Time. So if you leave it in there for 3 years, the A is going to calculate how much money you would actually have, the amount that you would have at the end of that time. And that's it. That's your simple interest formula. So let's do a quick example of this. And let's be the people with money right now, okay? I'm going to leave that up here as an example. Let's say, I don't know, something fortunate happens in your life. I don't know if it's fortunate. Let's say that somehow maybe you inherit something, someone leaves you a little chunk of money or something, I don't know. Somehow you come across, how much money do you all want to come across?
$1 billion.
$1 billion? We can do lottery. Let's do lottery next class. We'll do something crazy like that, because then we can see, like, if you win the lottery, you can theoretically just sit on that money and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, just sitting on your money. Something more realistic. What did I hear?
50K.
What did you say? 50,000. Okay. Let's say you deposit $50,000 into a simple interest account. Now I have to say simple interest account because this formula is for, why did I put simply? Sorry, that's supposed to say simple up here. Simply interest. Simple, no. Simple interest. But it is simply interest. Simple interest. So this is the simple interest formula, and there are other formulas, but this is the easiest, most basic one. This is what most banks use because it's the most cleaned up version. Some formulas can be more complicated. All right, so we deposit $50,000 into a simple interest account at. Okay, so I heard recently, I read somewhere that, you know how y'all know interest rates are controlled by the Fed, the federal government. They control interest rates. So when you go buy a car, the federal government decides how much you're going to have to pay to borrow that money. You don't know that? The federal government decides that. And in order to slow the economy down, what they're doing is they're raising the interest rates. They're trying to like get things under control by bringing up interest to make it harder for you to buy something. It's more expensive for you to buy something right now than it used to be, to borrow money. And so the idea is that it slows people's spending down. Well, the reverse of that is that if you have money and you can put it in the bank, they actually are giving you more money for your money. So I saw online that there's some banks that you can go online, you can put your money in just to a savings account, and they're giving you like 6% back, which is really high, really high. So let's go with something more conservative, 4%. All right, that's still extremely high. Like last semester, if I would have said 4%, that would have been a joke. You know, like there's no way it was 4%. But today, I can actually say this is possible. I remember when I bought my house, my second house, when I bought my first house, right, I made a big amount of money off of it, and then I was building a house with my wife, and I had this huge chunk of money that I got from the sale of my first house. I moved into this little apartment, and I was like with little boxes. I just put all my furniture in storage. I just had like cardboard boxes for furniture. And for 6 months, I just let that money sit in this account. I was getting 7.5%. And for 6 months, I made like, I don't remember how much it was, but it was like thousands of dollars that I made by just letting my money sit there. But back then it was like 7%. So this always fluctuates, all right? And right now it's pretty high. So we got this 50,000, right? Putting in this account at 4%. And how long are we going to leave it in there? Let's say we're going to just leave it in there for what, 3 years? That's a long time, but let's just do it, 3 years. At 4% for 3 years. Let's go 2 years. We're not that patient, right? 2 years. Okay, the question is how much is there? I have 3 minutes. The question is how much is there after the end of 2 years? How much will be in that account? All right, so let's go to the formula. So how much is there? How much? Well, I'm saying how much at the end of 2 years? It's a question mark. So let's use the simple interest formula. The amount will be P, the starting amount, E to the R times T. Okay, the amount will be, do we know P? How much we started with? 50,000, right? 50,000, boom, 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 times E. Now, do we know the interest rate? 4%, but I need it as a decimal, so I put what up here? 0.04. And then I need to multiply that times the time, which is 2. So we have to do order of operations here, everyone. We have to do order of operations. Do this first. 0.04 times 2 gives you 0.08. Then use your calculator to do that. And I'm going to need somebody to do that for me. We have 50,000. And then what is that when you do that on your calculator? E to the 0.08. 1 point. Okay, so for these problems, you want to go as many decimals as your calculator gives you, just to get an accurate answer. 1.08. 3287. Okay, good enough. Let's just use that. Multiply that times 50,000, and somebody tell me the answer here. Almost out of time. Anyone? 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 I need to bring my calculator from here on out. Wait, 54,164.3 change, who cares, right? I'm going to say 3.5. All right? So look at that. How much did your money grow by? It grew by $4,164. That's how much it grew by. Real quick, 4,164. Can someone take that and divide that by 24? What do you get? 173? 173-ish? How much is that? What am I trying to show you here? That's how much per month. Remember we left it in there for 2 years? So basically that's like somebody paying you $173 a month just to have your money sitting there, right? That makes sense to you? What's really interesting, and I know you got to go, but what's really interesting about this formula is that if I add a 0 to this, let's say that was 500,000, what it does is it just adds a 0 to all of this as well. So this basically, this decimal moves over, and this would now become that much. So if you somehow got your hands on $500,000, $500,000, if you put that in this account, 4%, you basically would make $1,700 a month just off of your money sitting there. Imagine if it was 5 million, not 500,000, then what would that be? 17,000. So if you won the lottery, right, and had $5 million, you could go buy that Lamborghini or whatever. You could start spending all your money, but if you were smart, you just put it in, you invest it in different places, and then you're getting paid $17,000 a month to just have that money sit there. And you're not spending it, and you're just living off of the interest of your money. Makes sense? That's the smarter way to do it, right? But people who get rich fast, they just go blow it all, and then they don't have, the money is the power. The money is the leverage, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to send you all a homework assignment, so check your email. It's gonna be sketching, and then I'll give you one of these problems, all right? Where's that sign-in sheet? Did everyone sign that? It's a quiz grade. Yeah, okay. Yep, okay, thank you. You go, I'm gonna go over to the camera.